I did a search here with the Bible app, and I typed in bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you to see where it appears in the Bible. And yes, Genesis 12:3 is a promise to Abraham and his descendants. And the New Testament does point that out, that we who are believers in Jesus are adopted, right? The Romans chapter 11, we're grafted in, we're adopted into the family of Israel, but God is not done with Israel. And that blessing was originally meant for Israel. Now watch this. What's below this? It's right here. Look at this. Numbers 24:9. So let's click on this and let's see what's going on here. So what is this? What is this Numbers 24 even about? Well, Balaam, he was the prophet, right? And this evil king, Balak, hired this guy to come in and to prophesy a curse against Israel. And he couldn't do it. God wouldn't let him do it. This is the guy that was riding the donkey, right? And he sees this angel with a flaming sword in this narrow passageway. And the angel, was there to probably kill him. And the donkey stops and he's like, gets off the donkey, starts beating the donkey, like, why aren't you moving forward? Let's go. And the donkey speaks to him. The donkey's like, why are you beating me? I've been good to you. And it's a good thing that donkey stopped, because it probably saved Balaam's life, because the Lord spoke to him there and told him he's not going to be able to curse Israel. So now that's Balaam. He was a prophet, and he was being tempted, and he actually fell into the enemies of Israel's hands, much like a lot of Christians today. They belong to God, yet they're falling for the deception of disliking and hating Israel, or just saying God has nothing to do with the modern nation of Israel. But that's a lie. God does have something to do with it. There's miracles that you've seen in your lifetime or in your parents' lifetime, and you need to realize that. But if you're going to be like Balaam and try and proclaim a curse upon Israel, God's not going to let you do that. It won't work. So here we go. Let's look at the scripture. So this is Numbers 24, and it's Balaam's third oracle. Here it says, and Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel. Wow. And you're going to see a connection with that Abraham promise directly to the nation of Israel. As they're here in the wilderness with Moses leading them, it's the nation of Israel. Now, there were some Gentiles with them too. Remember, a few Gentiles came out of Egypt with the Israelis, and they were grafted into that nation. So here it is. So the Lord it pleased the Lord to bless Israel. He did not go as at other times to look for omens, but this time Balaam, he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel camping tribe by tribe. And the Spirit of God came upon him. And he took up his disclosure and said, he starts prophesying, the oracle of Balaam the son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eye is opened, the oracle of him who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty falling down with his eyes uncovered. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob. That's speaking about Israel. This is God speaking. He's prophesying now. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob. Your encampments, O Israel, like palm groves that stretch afar, like gardens beside a river. Wow. Like aloes that the Lord has planted, like cedar trees beside the waters. Water shall flow from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. This is speaking about the Messiah now, right? Jesus, Yeshua. God brings him out of Egypt and is for him. Now he's speaking about Israel. And he's for him with the horns of the wild ox. He shall eat up the nations, his adversaries, and shall break their bones in pieces and pierce them through with his arrows. This is speaking of warfare and God delivering them with warfare, delivering the children of Israel. He crouches, he lays down like a lion, and like a lioness, who will rouse him? Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you. So now this is the same exact wording as the Abrahamic covenant, which many Christians say it's not about Israel, it's just about everybody. It's about Israel, and we are, if you read Romans chapter 11, as a Christian, you'll see that we're grafted into the olive tree, which is Israel. We're grafted into Israel. Paul even says, don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant, but be humble. Realize that you were grafted in because of their unbelief. God has allowed you to come in. But how amazing will it be when God grafts back in the natural branches? When Israel's saved, all of Israel saved, just like they were in Joseph's story, which was a picture and a type of Jesus. He had a Gentile bride, right? And that 7 years of great harvest came, and when that last little piece of grain was collected, like that last Gentile who comes to Christ, as Romans chapter 11 says, then all of Israel will be saved. That's what happened in Joseph's story during a time of great trouble. But here you can see in Numbers, it's not just in Genesis, where Abraham gets that promise. It's right here in Numbers 24. Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you. This is directly to the nation of Israel. Isn't that awesome? So here this bad guy, Balak, and Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he struck his hands together, and Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them three times. 3 times this happened. And therefore, now flee to your own place. I said, I will certainly honor you, but the Lord has held you back from honor. Whose Lord is Balak's? That's the Lord. His Lord is obviously the Lord of murders and liars, right? Satan himself. And Balaam said to Balak, did I not tell you, your messengers whom you sent to me, if Balak should give me his house full of silver and gold, I would not be able to go beyond the word of the Lord to do either good or bad of my own will. What the Lord speaks, that I will speak. So, and then God even goes further in that chapter and speaks about how he is going to, the descendants of Balak, he's going to come in the latter days, in the last days, and he's going to destroy them and their army that comes against Israel. They will come against Israel in the last days. And that is the area around where Petra is. It's just like southeast of the Dead Sea. Some people say that Israel will be hiding in Petra, that rock city. It could be during that 7-year Great Tribulation period. So that's what happens there. And then Balaam actually has another prophecy, and he speaks about Edom. That's who these people are, the Edomites, right? Edom, and how they will be cursed and they will be destroyed by the one who comes from Israel, the Messiah, Jesus, right? So, hey, this is interesting stuff. But here's the thing, guys. Stop believing the rhetoric. Stop believing that there's this forced famine by Israel against the Palestinians. That's a lie. The UN's a part of that lie. The woke media, this one world elitist government media like the BBC, the AP, Associated Press, CNN, many of these others, they come together and they form these lies together and they go with it. And there's UN trucks that are just sitting there full of food, and they won't go out and deliver the food because they want to create this famine. They're working with the Gazans, with Hamas. The Hamas is eating fat, and they're getting fatter by the day. There's pictures of them in the tunnels eating gourmet food. And the people are some of them are hungry because the Hamas takes the food from them and threatens their lives if they take the food. But there's no famine going on. That's not true. If there is one, it's because of Hamas. But the Israelis are doing everything they can to get food to those people right now. Don't believe the lie. Believe the truth. The Abrahamic promise is not just for all people, it's for Israel. And if you're a true Christian, God will put it in your heart to love Israel. When the Iranian people convert to Christianity from Islam and they believe in Jesus, they have an automatic love that comes into their heart for the nation of Israel. Did you know that? Yes, they do. There's images of them, satellite images, where there's this big Israeli flag in front of this big government building, and they want people to walk on it as they enter the building. Well, it shows these Christians, they walk around the flag to go into the building. See what I'm saying? So don't be fooled. Don't be deceived, my friend. Don't rethink supporting Israel. No, you need to support Israel as Christians. This is God's command. It is. And Tucker Carlson was very wrong when he interviewed Ted Cruz. Tucker doesn't know the Bible. And he found these certain scriptures. He was ready ahead of time with all this ammunition. And he was trying to say that, where in the Bible does it say to bless those? I will bless those who bless Israel and curse those who curse Israel. And he says, well, it's Genesis 12. You know, he didn't really even know where it was, but Tucker was saying like, no, that's for Abraham and his descendants. Well, God always says, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or his name is also Israel. He does that over and over for a reason, so we're not confused. And this blessing and cursing prophecy to Abraham is repeated in Numbers 24 for the nation of Israel. So don't be fooled, my friend. I love you. God bless you. Remember this, Yeshua, Jesus, he wins in the end. And you can click on this playlist and see how to find Jesus in the Old Testament. I think you'll be blessed by it. Love you, my friend.